Oh, hello. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, season's felicitations, and wipe your feet.
My friends have something very special for you.
We're not going to open it before Christmas.
It's the world's biggest Christmas card.
Oh, but sweetheart.
Classic Christmas Radio Theater.
God bless us, everyone.
Yes, Tiny Tim. God bless us, everyone.
Featuring some of the greatest Christmas radio shows of all time.
Attaboy, Clarence. Attaboy.
And now here's your host, the elf that eats the most Christmas cookies, Mr. Wyatt Cox.
We go back 69 years this hour to December 23rd, 1952, the Mr. First Nighter program, as it was broadcast from the fictional Little Theater off Times Square. Rye Billsbury playing Mr. First Nighter. Heading up the repertory company, Barbara Luddy, Olan Soule, along with support from Willard, Waterman, and Parley, Baer. That's coming up here on this hour of Classic Christmas Radio Theater. In the newspapers of December 23rd, 1952, a Tuesday, a special House inquiry accused Soviet Russia of perpetrating the infamous Katyn Forest massacre in World War II and urged the new 83rd Congress to investigate alleged communist atrocities in the Korean War. Police arrested 21 dock workers in a sudden blow at waterfront rackets in the nation's largest port. 7 maximum security convicts escaped from the Washington State Penitentiary through a 200-foot tunnel yesterday. One was shot and captured later in a chase through Portland, Oregon. Premier Antoine Pinay offered his coalition government's resignation, but French President Vincent Auriol decided to postpone any action until later today. A great hydrogen explosion wrecked one of Japan's largest chemical plants. Police said 15 workers were killed, 5 missing, and 370 injured, 70 seriously. And the man who didn't come to dinner has to pay anyway. For a while, 42-year-old Edward Petrock of Chicago took his estranged wife to dinner a couple of times a week in hopes of reconciliation. Well, then he stopped the dates. Yesterday, Circuit Judge Maurice Schultz ordered Petrocki to increase by $25 his monthly allotment of $140 he pays his wife Carol for separate maintenance. Judge Schultz figured the cost of the meals at $25 monthly and said Carol was entitled to either the food or the money. Well, some of the news stories from the newspapers of Tuesday, December 23rd, 1952. On your radio on NBC, the First Nighter programmed. Rye Billsbury starring as Mr. First Nighter, Barbara Luddy, and Olan Soule heading up the repertory company. And that's next on this Classic Christmas Radio Theater Hour. Now on Classic Christmas Radio Theater, from 69 years ago, December 23rd, 1952, Mr. First Nighter program, O-Little-Town-of-Bethlehem.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the Little Theater off Times Square and your hosts, the Miller Brewing Company, take pride and pleasure in presenting the traditional Christmas play, Little Town of Bethlehem, an annual presentation that will be given this evening for the 12th year. The First Nighter program, starring Olan Soule and Barbara Luddy, and tonight's guest star, Willard Waterman. Theater time, and it's a memorable occasion in our little theater tonight, so without delay, may I introduce our host for the evening, Mr. First Nighter, Rye Billsbury.
Good evening. So happy you could be with us on this special evening. My cab is waiting. Won't you step in? All right, driver, over to Broadway, please. Up Broadway and across 42nd Street. This is a beautiful scene tonight. The Great White Way looks like a big, dazzling Christmas tree. There ahead now is the Little Theater off Times Square. Well, here we are.
Have your tickets ready, please. Have your tickets ready, please. Good evening, Mr. First Nighter. The usher will show you to your seats.
Thank you. We'll go right in. Tonight we take great pleasure in presenting Little Town of Bethlehem, a Christmas play by Anthony Wayne, which tonight will be given its 12th annual performance in the Little Theater off Times Square. In tonight's cast, Barbara Luddy will play Mary. Joseph will be played by Olan Soule. We are happy to have back with us tonight our guest star, Willard Waterman, in his well-remembered role of Quirinius. We are happy, too, to have such outstanding actors as Hugh Studebaker as Herod, Parley Baer as Simon, Paul Dubov as Josiah, Marvin Miller in the role of the first wise man. Eddie Firestone plays the page, and the production is staged and directed by Joseph Ainley. Since tonight's performance will be interrupted only by music between the acts, here is a special message. Here is Vincent Pelletier.
Thank you, Rye. Friends, I would like you to hear a personal message from Mr. Frederick C. Miller, president of the Miller Brewing Company. In the sincere spirit of the Yuletide season, my fellow workers and I extend the age-old wish of free and Christian men that the peace and serenity of Christmas be always in your home and hearts. We are deeply appreciative of this opportunity to retell one of the most beautiful and moving stories ever told. A story I learned as a child. A story that's a favorite with my children and children everywhere. A story that has held out a shining hope to men of goodwill for almost 2,000 years. This simple tale of a carpenter, his wife, and a tiny babe is Christmas. And in the thin cry of that child, all men have heard the echo of their own beginning, and from it have taken strength for their own future. The world will always listen to the cry of a child and keep alive the deep spiritual significance of this Christmas story, so that all men will hear that cry, so that all men will someday bow their heads in all humility and commemorate Christmas in the church of their choice. We join all our fellow Americans in this hope.
Now the lights are out, and the curtain rises on the first act of Little Town of Bethlehem.
What is your name?
Josiah, son of Obed, the son of Asa, the son of Zacharias.
Old Caesar doesn't ask who your ancestors were. Give me only your name.
Josiah of Bethlehem.
Name of your wife?
Leah.
You trade the number of your children?
I am a shepherd with 7 children. My flocks are in the hills nearby.
Enough. How much property do you own?
My house and 50 sheep.
That is all. Who is the next? And what is your name?
Joseph, the son of Jacob, the son of Mathan, the son of Eliezer.
Hold. Must every one of you who registers recite his lineage to me? Did you not hear me say all I want was your name?
But I am descended from the kings of Judea, from the great King David.
I know, so is everyone in Bethlehem. But the Roman emperor cares nothing about that. This is a Roman census.
I'm sorry.
Is this your wife?
My name is Mary. I, too, am of the line of David.
Your voice sounds tired. Have you come far?
From the town of Nazareth in Galilee.
Sit down on that bench and rest a moment.
Thank you.
Now, Joseph, what is your trade? How many children and how much property?
I am a carpenter. I have no property except my tools and the animal on which my wife has ridden from Nazareth. There are no children, as yet.
Very well, that is all.
Pardon, my lord, but we have no place to sleep. There was no room at the inn. Can you help me?
The town is filled with those who've returned for the enrollment. I can do nothing. You wait. You see that man talking with the soldier? That's Simon, a rich merchant. He has a large house. He may have room for you.
Thank you. Come, Mary.
You have found a place for us to rest?
We will inquire. Pardon, sir. You are the merchant, Simon?
Yes, what do you want?
I am Joseph of Nazareth, and this is my wife, Mary. The Roman governor said that you might have some room in your house where we could sleep.
I have no room. The governor and his men are staying with me.
If you only had some small corner where we could rest.
My wife is very weary, sir.
I have said that my house is filled. You may sleep in the stable if you wish.
Stable?
Let us go there, Joseph. We have tried so many places.
But a stable, Mary, is not what I would like.
We must be content. Lift me up to the saddle. If you lead the way, the little beast will follow.
Simon, I'm tired of listening to this babble. Claudius, take my place here. I'm going to rest.
Taking the census is an exhausting task, my lord.
Everyone in Judea must spring from Bethlehem. People have been pouring into the town all day.
Bethlehem is the city of David.
And everyone who is registered here claims descent from him.
That is true. And the dream of every mother of David's line is that she will bear the king of Micah's prophecy.
Micah's prophecy?
Have you never heard it? But thou, Bethlehem, though thou be little among the thousands of Judea, yet out of thee shall come forth he that is to be ruler in Israel.
So that's the prophecy. You're all waiting for this new king.
Oh, many believe he will come, my lord.
And you, Simon, do you believe it?
Yeah, I? Oh, it is rather the shepherds who talk of it.
I see. You're very careful, Simon. Perhaps you fear Herod, your king.
Herod despises the prophecy of Micah. He hates Bethlehem.
It would be well to keep this legend from him, then. Oh, tell me about the carpenter and his wife from Nazareth. Did they find lodging?
I offered them my stable.
Stable? Is there no room in your house?
The stable is good enough for such as they. My house is kept for Romans, my lord.
Little wonder, Simon, that you are a rich and powerful man in Bethlehem. You have all the necessary qualities.
Thank you. If you are ready now to go to my house.
Not yet. The enrollment will be going on far into the night. Oh, this town of Bethlehem is really beautiful, Simon.
Ah, my lord, in the days of David, Bethlehem was great.
One can see that. The sons of David are not the warriors that he was. These crumbling walls, these broken battlements. And yet you believe your next king will come from here.
Oh, my lord, that, as I have told you, is but the tale of shepherds. A Roman soldier need not concern himself. Some nobleman is at the city gate. Who can it be?
We shall soon see.
Make way for King Herod!
It is King Herod. I shall have a king, the ruler of Judea, as my guest tonight. Oh, I am the proudest man in all the world.
And the curtain descends on the first act of Little Town of Bethlehem. And now, here is the second act of tonight's play.
Here, Mary. We can clear out this little space and be comfortable. Let me spread the blanket for you.
You are so good to me, Joseph.
You are tired, Mary. There. Now lie down.
Could you not bring the beast in out of the cold?
It is cold. But it is a clear, still night, Mary. Everything is peaceful. And there's a wonderful star over the courtyard. Can you see it through the open door?
Yes, I can see it. All the others are a white mist. Is it standing still? It seems to stand still.
Make way! Stand aside!
What is that, Joseph?
Just someone bringing horses into the stable.
It is the merchant himself, Joseph. He is leading the horses over here.
I pray, sir, you are frightening my wife.
Oh, the man from Nazareth, I am sorry, but you will have to move. King Herod honors my house tonight. These are the horses of his party.
King Herod?
All my life I have prayed that I might be honored by a visit from the king.
Surely you would not turn us out.
But move down to the other end of the stable. That stall where you see a manger. You can sleep there.
That will do, Joseph. Let us move.
I'm sorry, Mary. I seem able to do so little for you.
It does not matter. I am supremely happy.
I wish I had a better place to offer you, but one does not often have a visit from a king. He is at supper now with the Roman governor. I must go back to them.
That is true, Simon. One does not often have a visit from a king.
I regret to hear that you have so few about you whom you can trust, King Herod.
There is no man whom a king can trust, Quirinius. Those whom I have loved most dearly have betrayed me. My wife, one of my sons plotted against me.
That is very sad.
And paid with their heads. Now my youngest son, he whom I trusted above all others, he has turned against me.
And he, too, has paid with his head?
Not yet. I have but to reach the ear of Caesar.
I see.
Quirinius, bend closer. There is something I would say to you. I suspect there may be treason brewing here in Bethlehem. These men have a myth about their descent from David. They plot continually for a new king, a Messiah who will come out of Bethlehem.
I've heard the prophecy.
But don't you see they are plotting against me?
No, it amounts to little. They've been talking of this for hundreds of years.
I am not so sure. When I called the scribes of the people together and asked them where this child was to be born, they said, in Bethlehem.
Is that why you come to Bethlehem tonight?
Perhaps. And perhaps I shall stay longer than a night, just to make sure these Jews are not plotting against. What is that babble outside?
Probably some of your Greek mercenaries gambling with my men.
Simon, where are you?
I am here, O king.
Then quiet those brawlers in your courtyard.
I shall do so at once. Quiet for the king.
This Roman soldier does not understand us, Simon.
Hush. I know your faces. You are shepherds from the hills. What do you want?
We bring tidings of great joy, Simon. As we watched our flocks in the fields tonight, an angel of the Lord stood beside us.
Speak softly.
And a bright light shone around us so that we were afraid. But the angel said, "Fear not. I bring you good news, which shall be a joy to all people. For there is born in Bethlehem a Savior.
You are mad.
And this shall be a sign to you. You will find the child wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger."
In a manger?
And there was a song in the air, a heavenly throng, Simon, singing.
Silence! You are mad. Would the king of Micah's prophecy be born in a manger?
But we spoke with an angel of the Lord.
Go back to your flocks. There is no king born in a manger. Only a carpenter and his wife from Nazareth are resting in the stable.
We have come to worship the newborn Messiah.
There is no king but Herod. And if Herod should hear you, it would go hard with all the men of Bethlehem. Now be off.
Ah, Simon. Who are your visitors?
Oh, Quirinius. You followed me.
Only to help you, if my help were needed. Who were those men?
Oh, just shepherds, moon-crazed shepherds. They told a wild tale of hearing angel voices.
I thought I heard them speak of a Messiah. How does it go? But thou, Bethlehem, out of thee shall come he that is to be ruler in Israel?
Oh, my lord is pleased to jest. Oh, but I pray you, you will not speak of this. My lord, I beg you not to speak of it to Herod.
I think Herod has already heard.
And the curtain comes down on the second act of tonight's play. And here is the last act of Little Town of Bethlehem.
And once more, Simon, I must ask you, those shepherds, you are sure they were not conspirators in disguise?
No, O king. They were only shepherds.
Word has been brought to me that they sought the king of Israel.
They said that as they tended their flocks that night, an angel appeared to announce that the king honored Bethlehem by his presence.
Oh, an angel announced my presence, eh? Did you hear that, Quirinius? A good omen, is it not?
It may, perhaps, mean much to your kingdom.
All Judea knows your greatness, O king.
But why? Simon, why did you not bring them to me, then?
They were but rough men with the smell of their flocks about them. I did not want to disturb you when you were feasting.
I see. You sure it was I they sought? There was no talk of the ruler of Israel who is to come out of Bethlehem?
Surely your majesty does not believe that fantastic prophecy?
Quirinius, I am wary of everything. Quirinius, today, 3 astrologers from the east came to me and asked for the newborn king of the Jews. They had seen his star rise in the east, they said, and had followed it here. You remember the shepherd spoke of that star?
It is only the old legend.
Perhaps.
O Little Town of Bethlehem, Mr. First Nighter program, December 23rd, 1952 on Classic Christmas Radio Theater.
Here's a great thing to consider doing right now before the end of the year. Call Medishare and find out just how much you would save by switching to Medishare, the affordable alternative to health insurance. When you call, you'll get some good news and probably be very happily surprised, too. The typical family saves $500 a month, but you might save even more. It's so worth it to at least find out. And you'll see why more than 400,000 people are already members. Medishare is a Christian community that shared more than $4 billion in each other's healthcare costs. It really is remarkable, and they're very easy to talk to. And here's the thing. If you join before the end of the year, they'll waive your new member fee. That's another $170 you'll save. I'll give you the number here in a second. The call, and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is December 31st, so call now. You'll save even more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Oh, come on, I hate you. You have no right to speak to me. You're stupid, you're evil. You believe in your God, guns and gold. You shouldn't have the right to vote. We must fix this disgusting country now. We want socialism now.
Whoa there, little fella. Our U.S. Constitution protects your right to say these things, even if they are drivel.
Our founders believed in our inalienable rights granted by God, not some mafia. Our Bill of Rights protects your personal freedoms, your absolute right to speak to others, whether loving and kind or hateful and stupid.
Utopia doesn't exist. It only destroys. Millions of innocents slaughtered by the communists in Cambodia, China, and the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics.
And millions of people were gassed by Hitler's National Socialist Party.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore our American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com. That's SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Thanks for being with us on this 2021 edition of Classic Christmas Radio Theater. Mr. First Nighter, a long-running radio anthology comedy drama series. It started in 1930 and continued till its conclusion in 1953. We do have some repeats later on in the run of the show. And this is one of those shows that if you listen to it, you will find it is tremendously theater of the mind, particularly the formal attire. All the actors wore formal attire. The folks who were starring, gown and evening clothes and top hat. And, of course, you heard all of the conversations that would be in a theater, smoking downstairs and in the outer lobby only, please. And you would hear all of the call for curtain as if it was done in a theater. Now, among the people who portrayed Mr. First Nighter, you had originally Charles P. Hughes, MacDonald Carey, Brett Morrison, the same one that played the Shadow, Marvin Miller, also Don Briggs, and in this episode, Rye Billsbury. And it was the first show to present complete and separate original plays each and every week. That are from a 1939 newspaper. The show aired on both NBC networks in the early days. It also aired on CBS and Mutual, and came back to NBC for its conclusion. Now let's have the conclusion of Mr. First Nighter. Well, that'll be coming up in 2 minutes on this 2021 edition of Classic Christmas Radio Theater here on your favorite station. Thanks for tuning in to the 2021 edition of Classic Christmas Radio Theater. And now we are listening to the conclusion of the Mr. First Nighter program, O-Little-Town-of-Bethlehem, from 69 years ago, December 23rd, 1952.
3 astrologers from the East came to me and asked for the newborn king of the Jews. They had seen his star rise in the east, they said, and had followed it here. You remember the shepherd spoke of that star?
It is only the old legend.
Perhaps. Perhaps. I told the wise men to look diligently for the child and send me word when they had found him, so that I, too, might do him homage. Homage. I would put him to death. I would kill him if I had to make away with all the boys under 2 years old in Bethlehem.
Spoken like a king, O Herod. But now, if you'll permit me, I will go to bed. 9 days of feasting find me weary, and tomorrow there's much to do. Good night.
You move on to Jerusalem tomorrow, Quirinius?
Yes. Will you honor me with your company?
We shall ride together.
I thank you. Good night.
Are you resting, Mary? Are you quiet?
I think of the shepherds, Joseph. I want to treasure up all they said and ponder it. David's throne and endless reign. The old prophecy coming from their lips. I am the happiest woman in the world tonight.
He is the most beautiful baby in the world tonight, Mary.
He is saintly. See the even flow of his breath, Joseph. You feel a mingled joy and terror watching it. The joy of life and the terror of death.
Do not speak of death.
Joseph, you are troubled. You are frightened. What is it?
It is Herod, feasting there in Simon's house. I had a dream. An angel of the Lord came to me and said, "Arise, take the child and his mother and flee into Egypt, for Herod will look for the child in order to kill him."
Joseph! What is that noise?
I do not know.
We seek a babe, wrapped in swaddling clothes, the Christ Jesus.
How did you know his name? Who are you?
We are 3 kings from the east. We have followed his star and ridden fast to find and worship the King of the Jews. The star stood still over Bethlehem.
So it is written by the prophet. Come, wise men. Here is the child.
The child who shall be king of the world. His goings forth have been from old, from everlasting, and he shall tread upon the high places of the earth.
Joseph, do you hear what they say?
Yes, Mary.
Let us lay down our gifts before him.
Caskets of gold.
Gold as tribute to a king. Frankincense for the priest. And myrrh for the body's burying. But we must make haste and ride away. We have been warned in a dream to return to our own country, lest Herod destroy us.
You hear what he says, Mary? Even as we were warned to flee into Egypt, lest Herod seek the child to destroy him. It is close to morning. Are you equal to leaving at once?
Yes, let us go. We must not think of ourselves, only of him. Let us go without delay.
Herod is sleeping now. If you would escape his malice and hatred...
We will wait for you at the city gate.
I have the animal ready, Mary. Come, let me lift you up. There. And put the child in your arms.
Wait, Joseph. That man outside.
The Roman governor.
Ah, man of Nazareth. You leaving before dawn?
We have obeyed the decree of Caesar Augustus and enrolled. We must now return. We have a long journey before us.
Yes, a long journey. I did not mean to disturb you. I was restless and could not sleep. Ah, what have we here? So, a new little carpenter.
Yes, a new little carpenter.
And like every Jew, I suppose you dream that he will be the prophesied ruler of Israel?
We have great expectations.
Well, after a stay in this city, listening to your prophecies and visions, I only wonder that the new king has not been born. What faith you Jews have.
You have no fear of our faith? Like Herod?
The Romans are soldiers. You Jews dream too much. But go your way, good carpenter. I even hope, perhaps, that your son may be the long-awaited leader of Israel.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, we ring down the curtain on our Christmas play in the Little Theater off Times Square. Thank you for being with us tonight. See you next week.
O come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. O come, ye, O come.
And now we're moving out of the theater and into the street. Oh, Vincent.
I'll be right with you, Rye, but before we leave, may I say that Mr. Frederick C. Miller and his entire organization, together with all our First Nighter cast, wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Here's your cab, Mr. First Nighter.
Thank you. Tonight, I believe we'll walk.
From December 23rd, 1952, the Mr. First Nighter program, O Little Town of Bethlehem. Well, let's check back in Wistful Vista because it seems that Fibber McGee and Molly are shopping for something for Doc Gamble. This episode originally broadcast December 12th, 1955.
Boy, the Bonton's really jumping today, kiddo.
Every day these days. Let's get over here out of the crowd a minute and let me check my shopping list.
Okay. Who we got presents bought for so far? Who for?
Well, that's what I'm checking. Let me see. I got a doll for Teeny Saturday. She's taken care of. Aunt Sarah, Mabel Toops. I bought her some dresser scarves.
Hey, what about Mort Toops? And hey, how about Doc Gamble? You got anything for Doc yet?
That's your department.
Gee, I don't know what to give him, Molly.
Well, come on, let's look around the store. Maybe you'll get some ideas. There's lots of nice things.
Attention, please. Your attention, please. Will the lady who reported her dress, slips, stockings, and girdles stolen kindly come to the lost and found department?
Holy smoke, how can she go anywhere?
All 4 packages have been found, madam.
Oh, boy. For a minute, I thought the poor woman was... Molly, hey, Molly, where are you?
Over here, dearie. Look at this sale on fur remnants.
Sale? On them little bitty scraps of fur? What are they good for? Is that like if your cat walks into an electric fan and you want to sew a few patches on him, or what?
Oh, of course not, silly. They're to trim things with, you know, sweaters or coats or things like that.
Hey, wonder if that'd make a nice gift for Doc Gamble. You know, something different. Nice round piece of mink to cover that bald spot of his. He might look kind of cute at that. He could advertise himself as the only mink-trimmed doctor in town. Probably raise his prices to $10 a call. He came in wearing a mink skull rug.
How about a nice shirt for the doctor? Maybe something for his office, like an ashtray or a desk set?
I don't know. Wish I knew how much he was going to spend on our presents this year, because I don't want to get stabbed like I did...
Attention, please. Will a maintenance man kindly come to the space helmet counter immediately? The space helmet counter immediately. The demonstrator has his head stuck again.
Boy, that must be kind of embarrassing, getting your head stuck while you're showing the kids how to... Hey, speak of the devil, look. Ain't that Doc Gamble over there?
Where?
Down that way, at the necktie counter. Don't holler at him. Don't holler. I got an idea.
What?
Come on, down this way. Don't let him see us. Hurry.
What are you up to now?
You'll see. You remember what happened last Christmas? I spent $7 on that genuine cashmere-type sweater I bought old Fatso, and what did he spend on me?
Oh, I don't know. I don't check prices on things people give us for Christmas. My goodness.
Well, I do. $5.95 that sports shirt cost that he gave me, and I spent $7 on him.
Oh.
Plus tax. I'm going to see if I can't get it evened up this year. Right now. Hey, Bud, can you wait on me?
I don't know what you have in mind, but I'm against it.
Keep your eye on Doc now, around the corner there. But if he looks over here, pretend we don't see him.
Oh, happy to serve you, sir. We have some very handsome things here.
Let me look at some of them handsome, genuine leather briefcases there, Bud. I want an expensive Christmas present for a doctor friend of mine. Very dear doctor friend.
Oh.
Yes, sir. Let me lay a few of them out here and show you what fine.
Is he looking, Molly? Watch out of the corner of your eyes. Doc looking over here? Is he
I
looking?
can't tell. He glanced up once, but I don't know whether...
Yeah, these are excellent quality, sir. Made of genuine California saddle leather.
Well, we don't want anything made out of old saddles, Bud. We want fresh leather. This doctor friend of mine is my very best friend. Nothing's too expensive for our dear doctor friend. Did he hear me, Molly? Did Doc...
Oh, McGee. Everybody on the whole first floor heard you.
I do have some more expensive briefcases, if you'd rather.
$20, you say? Well, I want the best, Bud, because our doctor friend deserves the finest Christmas gift.
McGee, you can turn the volume down now. I'm sure he got the message.
Yeah, what's he doing? Where is he? What's he doing?
He laid down the neckties he was looking at, shook his head at the clerk, and now he's walking toward the escalator.
Good.
Shall I gift wrap one of these, sir, or do you wish to see something in alligator or possibly...
Oh, no. We got to run now, Bud. We'll think it over. We'll let you know.
Ugh, one of those again. Should have known from that big, loud mouth of his.
Well, come on, keep your eye on Doc, Molly. Let's see where he goes.
This is the sneakiest...
Because whatever he spends on us this year, I'll spend a few bucks less on him, and that way... Doggone it, Molly, if you hadn't stopped to yak with Mabel Toops, we wouldn't have lost Doc. You see him anyplace on this floor?
No, I don't, and I think this is the silliest thing we ever...
Oh.
Attention all customers, all customers. The complaint department is closed today on account of sickness. The clerk is sick of listening to complaints.
We looked on the second floor and the third floor, and hey, is that him over there with his back to us in that black overcoat? Oh, no. That looked like Doc's shape for a minute.
No, that man has a lady with him anyway. Oh, will you look at the mink coat on her, McGee?
Yeah, boy. That guy's no slouch either.
My, you can certainly tell class, can't you?
Oh, sure.
That mink coat. Shh, listen.
Rather a nice store, my dear, wouldn't you say? In a middle-class way, of course.
Not bad. Hardly what we're used to in the New York shops, of course, but for a town this size, provincial, you know.
Boy, are they rich. Listen to that accent.
So refined.
Boy, did you ever hear
Attention, please. Calling all shoplifters. Calling all shoplifters. Put it back. We saw you. Put it back.
Oh, drat, Penelope, they've seen us again.
Oh, very well, Charles. Put back their crummy merchandise.
I shall put it right here. Let them sort it out, eh?
He's not as big as Doc Gamble at that. Just his overcoat that's big.
Heavenly days, will you look at the stuff?
Drape the mink coat on the chair there, my dear. Let us be gone before the shop.
Well, it just goes to show, doesn't it? You can't always tell about
Hey, there he is. Doc is. Down there at the silver counter.
Silver? I wonder what... Oh, McGee. He's looking at a cigarette box, a silver one.
Shh, don't let him hear you now. Don't let him see you. Wow, a silver cigarette box. That hint of mine must have soaked in. Is he buying it? Can you tell? Is he buying it?
Looks like it. Wow. He just signed the charge slip. Mm-hmm. There he goes over to the elevator.
Come on, quick. Let's get a look at it before the clerk wraps it. Let's see if he's having it sent or... Oh, pardon me, Bud. Could we see that a minute?
Oh, why, yes. This cigarette box, you mean?
Yeah.
Why, surely. I just sold one of these to that large gentleman who's getting in the elevator over there. It is lovely, isn't it?
Oh, it's just beautiful. Expensive looking, too.
No, it isn't really expensive, madam. Not really. It's only $27.50. Plus tax, of course.
Yipe. $27.50.
Oh, dear.
That comes to around, $31 with the taxes, sir. That includes monogramming, naturally.
Oh, naturally. Did the large gentleman you mentioned, is he having the one he bought monogrammed?
Oh, yes, madam. Yes, it makes a much nicer gift, you know. His monogram will read, let me see, I have it here. FMM. It's for a couple. Some very dear friends, he tells me.
FMM,
That does it.
Yeah, well, thanks, Bud. Come on, Molly. Boy, oh boy. Imagine us with a genuine silver cigarette box with our initials on it.
Yeah, it'll look beautiful on the coffee table, but oh dear. Now we are in trouble, McGee.
Trouble? What you mean, trouble?
Well, we certainly can't give Dr. Gamble a shirt or some inexpensive gift like that when he walks in with a $31 silver cigarette box for us. My goodness.
I never thought about it that way.
Well, you should have. It was your bright idea to start hollering at the briefcase man about how nothing is too expensive for your dear doctor friend.
Darn him anyhow. Him and his big fat generosity. Going to cost us 3 times as much money now as we meant to spend.
Oh, it's good to get home. Been quite a day.
You said it. $22 that briefcase came to. $22, including the monogram in gold letters, GGMD, it's going to say. George Gamble, MD.
Oh, it'll be beautiful. I don't know how we could do less after that handsome silver cigarette box that... Now, who's this? Come in.
Well, well, if it ain't the old myosin merchant himself. Come in, Fatso.
Hello, Dr. Gamble. How are you?
Hi, Molly, McGee. I just stepped in to tell you I won't be able to bowl tonight, McGee. I got a miserable cold.
Oh, you sure have.
My goodness, you sound terrible, Doctor.
I can't hear you, Molly.
She says you sound awful.
Cold. Settled in my ears so bad I can't hear anything.
Oh.
I went down to Bontown a while ago, and the clerks had to practically shout at me.
Well, you'd better get right home to bed.
Oh, I wish I could, Molly, but I better get right home to bed.
That's what she said.
Yeah, to bed. I'd have stayed there all day, but I had to go out and buy an anniversary present for some friends of mine. Silver wedding anniversary.
Wedding anniversary?
Silver?
What'd you say?
I said, what did you get him?
Oh, I got a silver cigarette box. I had it monogrammed. Did I ever mention Frank and Mamie Martin to you kids?
Frank and Mamie Martin.
FMM.
Yeah, Frank and I went to school together.
Oh. He thinks he's sick, Mom. I'm going to go lie down. Macy, Marcus, Matthew.
What are you doing with the phone book?
Looking for some guy with the initials GGMD that needs a briefcase. Hey, here's a wrestler named Gorgeous Gus McDougal. I wonder if he'd give about $22.50 for a nice...
Give up.
Okay. So long, everybody.
We'll see you later. Bye.
The Fibber McGee and Molly program, probably one of the longest-running comedy shows apart from Amos and Andy. They ran from 1935 in full-running shows. Then in 1953, they would go to quarter-hour daily shows as opposed to half-hour weeklies. It was much easier on Molly, whose health was failing. And finally, they would become a part of NBC's regular Weekend Monitor program, and that they would do short sketches. They were renegotiating the continuance of that contract until Molly passed away. Fibber McGee and Molly, a great part of old-time radio, and we thank you for being with us. We also thank this radio station and their financial supporters. We thank everybody who makes it possible for us to be here on your favorite radio station. We ask that I have a webpage if you want to come learn more about old-time radio collecting. That webpage is classicradio.stream. That is classicradio.stream. On many stations, we have another hour straight ahead. If you are with us, we certainly look forward to the pleasure of your company for this annual labor of love. I dearly love doing these old radio shows and presenting them to you and putting them in some historical context. For those of you that are with us for another hour, we look forward to the pleasure of your company. If you leave us at this time, please accept our warmest wishes for a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2022.